I'm no entomologist, but this is one really buggy deck. It's very fun, very disruptive, and it gets the job done. It's not tier one, but it's just something that's different, I suppose. This is my giant ballpark insect deck profile. I like to play six vanillas. I think that's a good amount. The Ranger's just really nice to play because he's at 2K attack. Quagita Alpha is at 1250, so it's not really powerful, but it gets rid of some things, I guess, so that's helpful. 3 Resonance Insect. This card is great if it's sent from field to graveyard. You can search a high level insect, and then if it's banished, you can mill an insect. You can't do itself, of course, but none of those effects are once per turn, so that's why we play 3 of it, and a really good Almirage target. 3 lamps to just swarm the field. Really good at extending your plays. 2 Retaliating Seas. This card is okay. It's more or less of a side deck card. If your opponent does happen to play a spell that special summons a monster, you can bring it out, and then the field is treated as Macrocosmos, so it's good there. And then if it's sent from field to graveyard, you can search a weak insect, 1500 less attack. If Max C were legal, oh my god, this card would be great. But it's not. So, I suppose you could play Contact C in this deck. I just don't choose to play that. But an insect you must play is Gokipole. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can search a level 4 insect monster, and then if you search one of the vanillas, you can bring it out for free and then blow up a monster who has the same or higher attack. That's really good. Doesn't target if I add that to the fact that this card is awesome. And it's just really good for disruption. You can only do that once per turn. It's really hard once per turn. But being able to disrupt your opponent at any time is fantastic. 3 Hornets, and also 3 Parasite Paranoids. I play these because this deck kind of likes to do the equip mechanic. Hornet's really nice because whenever it's equipped, you can get rid of it at any time and blow up a card. And that's not once per turn, so it's really powerful there. Parasite Paranoid, you equip it from your hand essentially to any face-up monster. Yes, that targets, but it makes the monster insect. It can't target insect monsters for attacks or effects. And then if it's sent from field to graveyard, you can bring out a level 7 or higher insect monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. It's really good when you have multiple monsters on the board, specifically insects, because you can bring out your kaijus. Yeah, you can only control one, but bringing them out for free if you don't really have another kaiju's good. Doesn't waste their mechanic. I like playing 2 Kumungus and 1 Godarla. But the main one you want to bring out is, of course, your Insect Queen. She is okay, but as you build your field with more insects, she gets much better. She provides protection to every insect monster on the field, including yourself, in the sense that they cannot be targeted by or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. I wish she had a little bit more than 2800 attack, but there's ways you can pump that up, obviously, with like Hornet, for example. And then during the end phase of every turn, you can bring out an insect token, so that's really good at keeping your plays going. 1 Doom Dozer just to extend for game. Really good at banishing your resonance insects from the grave. That does it for monsters. As for spells, of course, we play 3 Giant Ballpark along with the Terraforming to search it out. Giant Ballpark is great because instead of a player taking battle damage, you can just mill an insect from your deck to grave. And then if you do one of the vanillas, you can just bring out 3 right away, which is awesome. And you can really go for game in that sense. And then if a monster you control is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can bring out a vanilla from your grave. A vanilla insect, I should say. So it's a really powerful card. I honestly think the card is broken. Maybe not top 10 level worthy, but it's just a really good card. I also play 3 Multiplication of Ants. You tribute insect and you get 2 insect tokens. They're level 4. I mainly just do this to extend your game. Mainly make Pico Felina with, which you'll see in just a little while. I'll give you a little sneak preview as she buzzes on by of that card. 3 is not necessary, but if you open up with 2, that can be really good. Just because it just extends your plays. 2 Verdant Sanctuary. I'm kind of testing this card out. If in face-up insect monster is destroyed, you can search another one with the same level. And what's really funny about that is if you give your opponent a kaiju and you destroy the kaiju, you get a search. So, really fun in that sense. 1 Gold Sark for your resonance insect plays. One Foolish for, I mean, mainly your Goki pole, but any option really. You can also send your Resonance Insect, or even Hornet is not a bad option. One Slumber just to get rid of the board. I mainly just discard this and then banish it to Search a Kaiju just for deck thinning. That's it for the main deck. That is 40 cards. I like playing 40 cards in my decks, is all I say, as always. As for the extra deck, the main insect monsters, which I'll show first, are 2 Pico Felina and 1 Papillon. It's really good when you have another insect on board with this. Otherwise, its primary effect is kind of dead. You discard a card, and then you equip an insect to an insect monster you have on the field. It gains 500 attack and defense. What's really good is if you do this with Resonance Insect or Retaliating Sea, you get free searches if you send them off to the grave. Or if you bring out Hornet, you get a free destruction. And while you have Hornet, your monster will gain 1,000 attack. Papillon, it's a shame you can't use its effects the same turn you bring it out. But for every insect monster you bring it out with, you get a counter, and you move counters to bring back your insects from the grave. I should also mention that Pico Felina's secondary effect is you can target 3 insects in the grave and shuffle them into the deck and draw a card. So really good at recycling herself there. Mirage is a good link 1 for getting your Resonance Insect and Goki Pole straight to the grave. I also play Mrs. Radiant to boost your Earth monsters. Phoenix for some back removal. Unicorn for any removal. Really good because it spins cards. 1 Saruja Skull Dread. It's hard getting 4 materials on this early game, but as long as you get 3 and you have Resonance Insect going to the grave from this, you can search Insect Queen, and then you can bring out Insect Queen right away. And if you do that to a zone it points to, it becomes a 3100 beat stick, and that is awesome. The last link I play is the Unchained. Because you blow up so many things in this deck, this just gives you an extra blow up, and then at the end of every turn, you and your opponents, you can just blow up another card. So really good there. As for the rest of the extra deck, I like to play these 4 Xyz, 4 Horsemen of Yu-Gi-Oh! Going for game, stalling for game, removal for game. I mean, what's not to like about these 4? And you could play anything else in your extra deck, but of course I like to play 1 Scarlight. It's a very fun deck. I recommend you guys go out there and get into it. Maybe not with a magnifying glass because you don't want to get rid of those insects. And it's funny because I'm not much of a bug person, but I just found this deck to be very different and worthwhile to play. And it's very budget friendly too. Until next time, guys, I'm the Raging Snail. See you later.